Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Dr. Laura Basha and it is September and it is September 2020 and this is actually, today is one of the strangest days that we've had. Of course, we're in the middle of we're in the beginning actually of the California wildfire season, and so we have an atmosphere here that is fog and smoke, and the color of the sky is kind of tinged with orange. It's after 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's quite dark here. So I had planned to do a video today, and so I thought, well, I'll just go for it. I have my iPhone here and it's on top of two very thick books perched on top of a little green vase. So that is about the level of professional studio space I have here. So be it. I wanted to talk today, given this particular time period we are in history, which is a very unusual and challenging time. I wanted to talk a little bit about healing work. I studied for over 14 years with my spiritual teacher. Several of us studied with her, many of us studied with her here in Oakland, California, the Reverend Catherine Jarvis, and among other things, she really was the one who introduced me to the conversation about how our thinking really is everything. Our thinking is what creates our experience in life. And she used to say the thought is the thing. And then many years after working with her, I became a clinician and an executive coach. And the heart of my work really is teaching people about the role of thought and how their thinking creates really their experience. Today I was going to spend a little bit of focused time on being a healer. It's not an obtuse, mystical kind of unattainable thing to be. It's very practical. The structure of it, which I will talk about in a minute, is quite simple. It's the practice that you bring to the structure that has the impact. And so any one of us can be a healer. Any one of us is actually designed to be a healer. There's different ways we can express it. But this is something that any one of us can do, and it's healing for yourself, and it's healing for those for whom you love and you wish well, whether they are in your physical presence or not. The remarkable thing, one of the remarkable things about healing is that it doesn't require a person to be with you. True healing takes place in the silence, and the silence is an aspect of the oneness that we all truly are. So let me just jump in and talk about that if you are interested in doing healing work for yourself or for another, or for our world, or for our planet, or for all of humanity. It's all the same. It all takes place in the same structure. So if you are someone who has a meditation practice and you've been meditating for many years, or you've been practicing being present, being here now with nothing on your mind but really being present in the moment, then this will make This will be just a next step, and perhaps you're already doing this. If that's not a practice that you have been engaged in, that is something that would be essential to being effective as a healer. So the first thing to do, if you will, is to get very quiet and very still, and to align yourself with Source. If you call that, we called it, when we studied, we called it the Christed consciousness. My background is Christianity, and so we talked about the consciousness of Christ. So we don't have the man Jesus here with us, but the consciousness of the Christ Jesus has permeated our atmosphere ever since the crucifixion. We do have that available to us. So whatever you call that experience you have of being present in the moment, you might call it God, you might call it the Tao, you might call it bliss. You want to get very quiet and align yourself with that presence that is greater than the personality that we are. And once you can experience yourself being aligned in that presence, you take the thought of the person or the circumstance or the situation, and you focus on that for a moment so that you get clear about what the issue is that needs to be transmuted. We don't turn away from what needs to be healed. We look at it and we acknowledge it. Once that's done, you then take your awareness of that condition or person, that issue that needs to be healed, and you bring it together with the consciousness of being present in the moment, with the Christed consciousness, with the Tao, with bliss, with whatever you call that state of alignment, with Source, with the Absolute. You take the thought of the problem together with the thought of Source. And once you bring those two together, you then focus only on the consciousness of Source. The healing takes place through the infinite intelligence of Source, which knows how to transmute the condition of need into its divine correspondent. So if it's an illness question, the resonance of Source, the resonance of God, the resonance of the Christ, the resonance of the Tao, the resonance of bliss transmutes that lower vibration that needs to be healed and elevates that vibration to the divine correspondent of whatever that problem is. So if it's a health issue, it transmutes it to divine health. If it's a financial issue, it transmutes it to opulence of all good. We don't need to know. We can't know how to heal something as human beings. I mean, we certainly, as physicians and as psychologists, and we have studies that we can bring to bear. But to truly heal something that is unseen, we need to understand how to bring that condition into the alignment of infinite intelligence, omniscient wisdom, omnipotent love. And that's what does the work. So once you align yourself with Source, then you acknowledge the problem and you bring the thought of the problem together with the thought of, with your understanding of how to align with Source. And then you focus on the energy of Source and you be present with Source. Then Source does the healing work. That's it. Now here's the beauty. if any of you have heard the expression, to give is to receive. If you are interested in healing work, the healing has to come through you first. As you align yourself with Source, Source comes through you first. You become a conduit for Source. And it's bringing the issue into the alignment with Source that does the work. It's like a tuning fork that elevates the vibration of the problem to the higher vibrational rate of that divine correspondent. So this is a practice you can do with yourself if you have your own issues. It's a practice that you can utilize for a health issue. It's a practice that you can utilize for maybe a personality pattern in yourself that you don't like, that you'd like to be freed up from. It's definitely a practice to use for another. When we studied with her, we worked with people from around the world. We would sometimes know the condition of the person in need, and sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes we would know exactly what the health issue was, or what the financial issue was, but sometimes we didn't know, and we would rely on good reports. And I can't tell you how many times the response that came in was, the doctors were amazed. The doctors were amazed. We heard of tremendous healing that took place with terminal illnesses. We heard of tremendous healings that took place with people who were in terrible financial straits, who were in terrible personal circumstances. So this, of course, does not take the place of medical attention or doing your due diligence about taking care of your finances, or, being very pragmatic in your search for work, or dealing with the everyday issues of life. One needs to be responsible to deal with those everyday issues. But added to that those practical actions that we take, this healing work is very practical. It's very pragmatic. And it's extremely powerful. You will be surprised at the good reports you may hear back from people. And many times you don't let people know that you're working with them, or that you're doing healing treatments with them. It's a way to walk through life. It's a way to make a difference. It bypasses conversation. It bypasses the intellect. It's work that's done in the silence. You might have to deal with your ego because, a lot of people aren't going to know what you're doing, so you're not going to get the credit. But, here's the thing. You're not actually doing the healing work. You are developing yourself to be a conduit for healing. You're developing yourself to be a conduit for peace, and for ease, and for harmonization, and for balance. Now, the secondary gain, if you will, is that it brings those qualities into your life. You do it for others, but it has to come through you first. So whatever healing needs to take place for you will also be augmented as you give to others. Well, I hope this has been helpful. It's just sort of scratching the surface. But honestly, if you do practice this particular structure, you might really be amazed at the positive results that you see. And right now, our world could use it. I work with people on this planet that I will probably never meet, and with whom I disagree strongly. with the choices they are making. I work with people who are in leadership positions whose choices I am diametrically opposed to. But I trust the divine order in the universe to awaken those people, and I do what I can to appreciate what the source of what the energy of source can do to awaken people who are caught in fear and in all its various forms. So there are two energies in the universe. One is fear and one is love. And love is the greater. And as more of us practice this healing work, more of us are interested in participating in this way of operating in the world, the more we bring in the harmonizing, adjusting, balancing energy of love. Take good care. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Bye.